Welcome to Disrupt and Discuss with your hosts, E and Casey. A Blue Shade Ventures production brought to you by It's Just ETV and My Herba by the Fitness Collective. Now, without any further ado, disrupt and discuss.
Hey everyone. Welcome to Disrupt and Discuss, the podcast where we challenge the status quo and deep dive into stories of extraordinary individuals and making a difference. I am your host, E.
And your other host, KC.
And today we truly have an inspiring guest with us, you guys. I'm going to talk a little bit about who he is before we bring him up to the stage. He wears many hats. He's not only a fitness professional with over 3 decades of experience, but also a DJ, spinning tracks and inspiring people both inside and outside of the gym, from guiding CEOs and celebrities to coaching everyday individuals on their health journeys. He has left a lasting impact on people from New York to California, from the east to the west. What makes him truly remarkable is his ability to precision coaching with piercing motivation. But he doesn't stop there. Through his work, he bridges the gap between physical fitness, mental well-being, showing us all how exercise and mindfulness can create a harmonious lifestyle, you guys. And as if his fitness expertise was not enough, he also brings a passion for music to life as a DJ, curating beats that move both the body and the soul. Whether it's in the gym or on the dance floor, his energy is truly infectious. So get ready for a lively discussion, you guys. That's our dynamic guest himself, covering everything from fitness myths to power of music, an undeniable link between mental and physical health. I would like to welcome to the stage Coach T. There we go.
As the crowd goes wild. Intro. Man, I was like, ooh, I can't wait to hear this guy get down.
Me too.
I was like, man, that dude is something else, bro. I can't wait.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you so much. That was a very flattering, and I'm humbled and proud to be a part of the podcast. So thank you much. Appreciate you.
Thank you for joining us.
Before we even get started, I wanted to say again, thank you, Coach T, because I know you remember way back when I started my entrepreneurial journey.
That's right. Yes,
you had me on your show.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And I'm very glad and honored, and this ain't blowing smoke, but seriously, I'm able to return the favor. And not even a favor, but just return the gesture.
Yeah, believe me.
You have been in my life in one form or another.
Yes,
right.
We do go way back. And look, man, it wasn't a favor. I was genuinely, I had you on twice. We had a two-parter. I appreciate you coming on my show.
Never forgot it. And I'm very glad that, time has passed to where I've evolved and it was able to bring you on here as well. So again, before we get into all the nuts and bolts and
all comes full circle,
so forth. Yeah, I just wanted to really just thank you.
Man. That's beautiful, man. That's it. Hey, I'm glad I was able to help you. I hope I did inspire you to do what you're doing. And it's all good. That's what I'm saying. It's all about community and family and lifting each other up. So that's why you are on my podcast. That's why I'm here. That's what's supposed to happen. So it's all good.
Awesome. All right. And you guys, we're going to give his information about his podcast in the description, and we'll also let him talk about it at the end forward.
It's all good. I'm here for y'all to do your thing. So do your thing.
All right. Well, we get ready to do what we do.
Let's start off with your expertise. Talk about your expertise, how long you've been in the business. What's the biggest misconception people have about fitness, and how do you address it with your clients?
I think, well, again, the whole 3 decades. First of all, I feel extremely old, but you
look good.
I'm trying. Believe me, it's work. It's work. I have to put in a lot of work. So let's establish that right off the top. It doesn't just happen There's a lot of
No,
work
it
going
doesn't.
on.
No,
Right,
I
right. A lot of
agree.
work. But being that I've been doing this for as long as I have, it's allowed me to develop my philosophy on how fitness is and how health is, because I've been doing it for as long as I have. When I see like, younger trainers and coming into the business, their stuff is very formulated because the business became that. When I first became a personal trainer, there were no certifications. It was none of that. It was just, you happen to be a person in the gym who had a little bit more knowledge. Your body type showed that you put in the work, so you must know something. And then that's why you were able to train others. So starting out that way, really for me, I was laying the foundations of what I do right from the start. Not that I knew what I was doing necessarily, but I always established that there was a certain way that you can dispense the knowledge of fitness to people so that they get it and that they understand it and that they can get the most out of it. It's just based upon how I hooked up with initial people in the gym and people who were bodybuilders and people who had status in bodybuilding. So you immediately went to them for fitness advice and, what exercise should I do and how should I eat? So, and now you're getting a bunch of different things from different people, because what works for one doesn't always work for the other. So if you're able to, you're getting a lot of different things, then you start to pick and choose, what works. You're like, well, yeah, that worked for me. Now I can dispense it to people, but I have to, I always give the caveat. Casey, you know how I do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to work for you, but here's some foundational things for you to do. And then now you got to see what works for you. And I think that's what allowed me to kind of develop my personal training style. Going back to what I was saying originally, people who come into the business now are all doing formulated things, because now it's a business to make people personal trainers. So now if you're going to make somebody a personal trainer, you have to kind of keep the same format for everybody.
Cookie cutter.
Exactly. So now all trainers are kind of similar and they're dispensing the same information. Whereas because I've been in it long enough, I deviate from that. And that's kind of what makes me different when it comes to dispensing knowledge when it comes to fitness. Does that make sense?
It does.
I took the long route there.
We took the scenic route, but what you're saying. And so, but then on top of that, I know because it's been so long you've been doing this, and I don't mean it like, like long, long.
No.
I mean, how do you stay motivated? Because I mean, you get, then all of a sudden there becomes burnout. Now, I'm giving you the question, but then I'm going to answer this part of what I know. One of the things that was able to negate that was when you would do extra things like the mud runs that we would do. Granted, it's still physical fitness, it's still exercise, but now you're putting a game with it. So I know we would train, still doing the same thing we do, but then we would train with the end in sight. So we would do the mud runs and stuff.
Exactly.
Which, after a while, it breaks up the monotony, so to speak. And
again, those are things that I kind of came to on my own, as far as how do I keep this fresh for people?
Right.
Because it can get mundane. It can get stale. It can get to the point where you're like, And progress, even though you're making progress slows after a while.
Correct.
You're not going to see drastic changes like you will see initially. But so how do I keep people still being in it and they don't lose that drive? And like you said, that's when I came up with doing the mud runs and stuff like that. But that burnout is a part of.
I sense a question. Yes.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
So is this the person that had you in army fatigues?
Yes.
Doing the mud run?
Yes, that was us.
This is the one that had you in the army fatigues doing the mud run.
We were in a uniform. We were, that was a group. Yes.
Yes.
When we were waiting as the countdown started to happen, I realized as I'm sitting at this crowd of people, which I don't like crowds.
I know you don't like crowds.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is going to go bad really quickly.
Why would you think that?
Well, first of all, we're in the crowd.
Yeah.
And everybody's, rah. And then
I was getting them hype, man. I was getting them hype.
Yeah. And so we're in the crowd and you're doing the countdown.
Yes.
And once we got the 5, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna suck. Because The first thing we had to do, we had to run uphill.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. That's right out of the gate. Yeah, right out of the gate. Yeah.
Again, stampeding up a hill. I'm running fast.
Wow.
People behind me are running faster.
Well, but it's very hard to stampede going uphill.
You
I
weren't
can
in
feel
my
more
world.
of a stampeding
you're going downhill. Right.
No. They were going to run over me. I was not running fast enough.
Yeah. But as
I got through it.
But as Kim, as I did in the beginning, I said that no one will be behind me.
Right.
So I'm the last person. None of y'all will be behind me.
I know.
So I had your back.
I know, but that was the very first
He said,
time.
I had your back.
That's like somebody saying, "Oh, well, giving birth is going to feel like this until that first fucking pain hits." You know, it's like, come on.
That's true.
It was
but
overwhelming.
I was not going to let you fail, and I was not going to let anybody run over you. Right.
And you did not.
Right,
but again, what we practiced leading up to that, and then the day of the actual event. I mean, now we're running uphill. Now we're running in a pool of water. Again, I'm in the fatigues, and everything is just getting heavier and heavier.
Were you guys the only ones in Army fatigues?
Yes, we were.
Yeah, that's right.
Outside.
That's right. Yes, we were the only ones. That's right. So they knew who was there. We were representing who we were. People knew we were serious. Were people not giving us our respect though?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
what's another one?
My military background, I wasn't doing it any other way.
Wait, you have a military background too? I missed that.
United States Marine Corps, my dear. Yes.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
No worries. Yeah, appreciate it. So yeah, I wasn't going out there in that type of atmosphere because that's a military atmosphere. Whether people want to, that's where that comes from. That style of thing they were doing is military.
Yeah.
Right. So I wasn't going out there not representing who I am.
Got you.
Okay.
All right.
So now I kind of understand where that body and that your physical fitness comes from.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. Been an athlete all my life, then the Marine Corps, and then fitness after that. So yeah, it's what I do. And that's what I try to tell people. Fitness is not a hobby. It has to be a lifestyle. It has to be what you do. Like you go to work, you go to school, you do those things. Fitness has to be approached the same way. So
I agree.
It's a lifestyle.
Right.
And I hear the accent. New York.
Oh,
you are from New York.
Oh God, don't get him started.
Harlem in the building.
Let me tell you about Mr. New York.
Come on now.
It's so funny. And yeah, I'm gonna bust you out a little bit on this one, Coach, respectively.
Oh, really?
No.
Thanks for the warning. Thanks for the heads up. Appreciate it.
No, my sister-in-law is also a native New Yorker from Brooklyn. And so when she would come to visit me and I bring her to T Studio.
Right, that's right.
All of a sudden, that accent got harder and harder. I was like, wow, really? Really?
Okay. All right. First of all, California people, we don't have an accent. It's not an accent.
Yes, you do.
It's not an accent. It's just the way we speak.
I know. Out here, we drink water. You drink
water.
Yeah, because that's what it is. Okay, because that's what it is.
You guys have a distinctive on the East Coast, linguistic.
God, yeah. Yes. Well, back when we had,
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, whatever. All right, if you say so, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man, back when I would get a voicemail from my sister-in-law, she would go, "Hi, how are you? Guess who this is?"
Let me see.
My friends from Southern Cal? I think not.
Yeah. Does not feel like a Southern Cal accent. Yeah.
No, but again, we got all these people that have migrated to California.
Yeah. What brought you to Cali?
Work. Work. Clearly, that's all that would have brought me to California was work. I was the fitness manager for Crunch Fitness when they opened up their first club in San Francisco in California. Wow. I was the fitness manager for the grand opening and subsequent time that they were here. So that I was that in New York. So when they were opening up the California club, I asked to come out. I was like, man, it'd be a nice change. I was getting ready to get married to my wife Cecily, who Casey knows.
Yes.
Okay,
calm down. calm down. And so we both actually came out. She headed up the Group X department. She's a Group X instructor and a yoga instructor. I headed up the fitness department. Now, it wasn't supposed to be a permanent thing. I was only supposed to be out here for like 6 months to a year just to get the club running.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. Now that I didn't know.
Yeah, to get the systems running and doing all that. And then I was supposed to jet back. And yeah, unfortunately,
you decided to stay.
Well, fortunately, it depends on how you look at it. I wound up staying. So yeah.
Well, it worked out for us. Okay,
right.
You got to meet me and know me.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yes, that's a good point.
That's
a good point.
See?
That's a good point.
And I only met you once. So,
that's right. Yes, you.
Yeah, I only met you once at your gym. What was it? Progressive Fitness.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a journey. California is what it is, but New York is always going to be home, man.
I know that for sure.
Yeah, that's for real. That's forever right there. It's the greatest city in the world, bro. What are you gonna do?
The West Coast is the best coast now.
Okay, relax.
But okay, then my question, I've always got questions here.
Of course you do.
So,
Of course she does.
Because that's who I am.
That's who you are, yes.
So on the flip side, since we've already talked about the most rewarding and doing all this stuff, what has been the most challenging?
About California or about fitness?
Well, I'm going to start with fitness first, and then then California. I want to hear what's challenging because
as in general, or again, are we specializing it to California?
Is there a difference?
Yes.
In fitness?
Yes, almost definitely.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Now, I'm gonna be. You might find this a little coming from me, but there's much more of an emphasis on fitness in California than it is in New York.
No.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Really? Was that necessary?
It was necessary because again, what do people think about when they hear the word California? Forget what's going on. Yeah. Forget about what's going on in the climate now. But when you hear
think
California,
Hollywood.
They think Hollywood, beautiful people, everybody works out, everybody's eating avocado sandwiches, and they're running to work.
Right.
Okay?
Yep. Right.
That's what
Exactly.
Avocado toast is the bomb.
Nothing's gonna beat a New York bagel for me, but
Respect.
Toast, I get what it is. Okay.
I got to give Nathan his props. I always go to Nathan's when I am in New York.
Yes, you are truly not from New York since you like Nathan's. Okay, good. Okay, that's how we know you're not from New York. Okay, great.
That's where the tourists go.
Oh, that's a tourist thing. Yeah.
Well, I go and I love it. So you know what? I'm going to give you that one finger salute on that.
But that's okay.
Thumbs up, guy.
That's okay.
Well, what's the bagel spot? Before we get back into why there's a difference, what's the bagel spot for New York?
Essa Bagel. It's called Essa Bagel. It's on the corner of 21st Street and 1st Avenue. That is the spot.
Essa Bagels.
Essa Bagel. Got every bagel that you could think of. All of them. Yeah, that is the bagel spot. Now, that's the thing about New Yorkers in general. Depending on where you live in New York, where your neighborhood is, where you frequent, you're gonna think your bagel spot is the ultimate bagel spot.
Right. Makes sense.
But what ultimately it is that New York as a whole is the bagel capital. So you're not really gonna get a bad bagel. A bad bagel doesn't stay in business. You know what I mean? So if you're doing the bagels right, you're in business. But I know personally for me, Essa Bagel was the place because it was in my neighborhood. But it is relatively well known throughout New York City.
Okay. So based on the
correct
borough.
Yeah, it's borough. But yes, there's 5 boroughs.
Yes. 5 boroughs.
Yes. The Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, and of course, money-making Manhattan, which is where I'm from.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what's up. Now, what's the difference? Despite we love to work out in Cali. What does the East Coast do?
The East Coast, we're big on fitness, but it's very seasonal. Winter months, everybody's about fitness because they know once it gets hot, around April, May, we start getting that warm weather in New York, less clothes, people see what you look like. So when you unveil, you got to be right. So it's then like in the summer, everybody's vacationing, going places, doing things. They're not really up in the gym. except for your diehards are up in the gym in the summertime. But mostly the gym is very quiet in the summer. So like when I was a trainer in New York, that's when the trainers, we would go on vacation because we wouldn't worry about missing clients because all our clients were away anyway. So we used to, all the trainers, we get together and we pick a place to go and we all go to vacation together. So yeah.
Okay.
Fitness is a little bit more year round in California. New York, it's very seasonal.
So that's still today.
Because the weather's the same. You know what I mean? This is winter months.
Right,
It's cold in New York right now. So, but see, it's not bitingly cold here. It's not hot, but it's not, I'm still rocking a t-shirt. So it's obviously not that, Right.
So is that where they get that phrase that when summer bodies are made in the winter?
Oh, absolutely.
A New York thing?
It's not so much a New York thing, but it's really, that's how your philosophy should be. Okay. The winter months, you put it in because you're ready for summer. Now you're not trying to get ready for summer in the summer. That just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So you put your time in from you really want to start like September so that you're ready for summer of that following year. But it really should start for you like September. Boom. And that's how it is in New York. Everybody comes back from vacations and all that by Labor Day. So then by the second week in September, the gyms are packed again. And that's when business is booming.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
See? So, learn something new every day.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Man.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to ask
if I would have moved to New York, I would have taken my California
mentality, sure.
Right.
And gone just right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to ask backwards because I need heat. I need some type of warmth. You cannot get me.
This is what I've said. It takes a special breed to live in New York City, man. We got a different skin. We got a different thing.
I cry over California weather.
Yes.
Okay.
Believe me, you're not the only one. Believe me. I hear it all the time.
Right. I got a girlfriend from Philly and she laughs at me. She's, what is it? 50? She's like, girl, that's t-shirt and short weather for us out here. I'm like, I'm freezing.
Like my clients, like my early morning clients, when it's supposed winter out here, will come in and like, oh my God, it's so cold. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? People in New York would die for this weather at this time of year. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's not cold. It
I
never
raised
gets
my
cold.
hand. That's me.
I know. It never gets cold out here. So.
Now, one of the other things I like, I'm sorry, I'm having flashbacks from hanging with you.
Come on.
Another thing that the coach would do, which was off the charts, how I even met him, was his spin classes.
Yes.
Now, before you started your own stuff, I would go to the gym and we would have to put our stuff out front of the door 45 minutes to an hour before class started.
Yes, you better.
You'd walk over there and you'd have all these bottles, towels, seat cushions, everything just to show your spot in the line.
That's right.
That's right. Oh, yeah. And
I take pride in that because I loved teaching spin. Loved it.
Oh man,
it was great. It was performance for me. I loved it.
Oh God. And before we even knew him, he walked in there like he was this friggin' movie star because he wouldn't smile. He had those weird shoes, them little duck-looking shoes on. Open the door. And everybody, what are those?
They're toe shoes, so they fit your feet and your toes.
Oh, okay. So are they specifically for those
No,
they're just for me. No, that's
just
me.
For you.
That's my style.
That was his style.
Right, yes.
But yeah, so he didn't have no personality with it. I was like, shit,
He like,
I'm sorry.
No,
I breed personality.
No. When you would walk through those doors, you had a mission in mind.
Yes, it's business.
Yes. So it wasn't, hey, how you doing? None of that. No. See?
You're like, let's get to work.
We hit thank you. Which is my catchphrase, as you know, is yo, let's go to work. We here to go to work, man.
Oh yeah.
You're not here for playing.
But it was just like the initial meeting of this person. I was like,
I can see that.
Damn.
I can see that. Okay.
So Yeah. And then as time went on, like I said, as soon as that class was over, you had a line of other people waiting to get in.
Yeah, I had to do
And
2 classes because of that.
yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't thrilled about that, but yeah. Because I like to give it all in each performance, you know what I mean? And back-to-back performances, very, very taxing. Very
Wow.
Yeah, and because you being a DJ, a lot of that music you did yourself.
Oh yeah, I
So
made all my own.
you
Yeah.
did your own music.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
okay.
And
Yeah.
what was also interesting, he hardly got on the damn bike.
That's right.
So that's
Not
that
for me.
military style.
Hey, hold up. The class wasn't for me.
Right. No, I know.
like-
But I'm just saying these were things that
This
were
is for you.
different.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Me
Exactly.
sweat. That's
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, sweat.
Look,
He wouldn't even let you turn on the fans.
Oh, that's right. Oh, no. We sweating. We are going to sweat. That was the key. Yeah. And plus, hey, let's make sure we describe things correctly. Granted, I wasn't on the bike a lot, but it wasn't like I was just standing still watching y'all do what y'all need to do.
You were dancing.
Okay.
You were doing all kinds of stuff.
Oh, so it was performative.
Performance.
Yes.
I approached each class as a performance. Yeah.
Yes.
I took pride in that. I took pride because nobody was teaching the way I was teaching. I was one of a kind.
And then
Until Soul Cycle got a hold of it.
I was gonna say, are you familiar with Soul Cycle?
Yeah,
Okay,
they
so
stole my whole thing. They stole my whole stick. Yeah, of course I'm familiar.
But
stole my whole thing.
Though, but here's the thing: you still took it up a notch because with your spin class, it was no longer spin; it was ride because these bikes would move from side to side.
Yes, because again, when I got my own thing going on, I wanted to make sure I was still different. I wanted it, and also because I was going to be charging people to now do spin with me in my location, I felt like I had to give them something extra. So that's why I went to the bikes that actually move, because you weren't going to get that at the other spot.
No.
So if I'm asking you to make that transition over to me, I wanted to give you something that you're like, oh, that's true. I can't get this over there.
Right.
So, hey, let me go over there. So that's how that came to be. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
definitely stand out.
Right.
Yeah. It was really
so you
good.
was getting a performance and you were getting a unique bike experience.
Okay. You had an all-around
right.
experience.
Lockdown. Had it on lockdown.
All I know is these women, when they would come to hike, it was you, Kim, Terry, Angel. They would talk about you. Your spin classes.
They were the angels. They were the angels.
They were talking about.
Yes. They definitely supporters and fans, and then became friends. And I am very grateful for that whole experience with you guys. I don't know if I've ever told you that.
No, you didn't.
Because I really don't want your head to.
Trust me, it didn't. It never did.
Yeah,
because as soon as we got down a routine, then you would either turn it up.
I flipped the script.
Yeah,
exactly. Because that's what was going to keep your body reacting.
Right.
If as soon as you got used to something, your body goes, "Oh, okay, I know this. Why do I have to give any extra effort?" So as soon as I felt like that was happening for you guys, had to flip the script.
Yeah. But no, that I really enjoyed that.
I had to do my Kramer from Seinfeld.
Oh jeez. Oh God. So what if you had to do your ultimate playlist?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. See,
I got three.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you have some favorites that you would want to be on that playlist. But again, because I did my own music and my style was different, a lot of the stuff that I think that I want to play on my list, you have never even heard of.
Well, true.
So so that's why it would be hard for me to run it down for you. If I was doing pop songs, that'd be easy. I wasn't doing that. I don't like pop. I don't like.
You do house, right?
I do house.
Yep, house music.
Straight up.
I asked him, was it a thing because
hardcore.
What's his name does? When I watch his videos, he has house too.
Yeah,
he does house music too. What's his name? Coach? I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Well, because house, if you're a true aficionado of house, there are a lot of different layers to house. There's deep house, there's soulful house, there's vocal house. There's different forms of house. So it allows you to really hit a lot of different tracks. Whereas pop music, you only playing what's popular. So you're kind of locked in. And that's when you would go to other classes, people would go, oh, damn, she plays that all the time, or he plays that all the time. Yeah, because they're only playing pop. You come to my class, I'm rocking house joints from the 80s and the 70s that you not even heard of. That's the great thing about house. That's why I love it.
Well, my favorite of all time, Sylvester. I love that one. That was like 9-minute long song.
Easily. Yes, 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Man,
Yes.
I could be tired, ready to go home. He'll put that on and it just does
Takes
something.
you to the next level. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So which shows that, boosting your workouts, that music has a lot to do with it, which is really
music is key, man.
Your philosophy with movement, the connection.
Yeah, I cannot stress that enough. Yeah, music is key. Love it. Love it for teaching spin. Love it for just playing it while I'm training clients. Yeah, music is, and the right music. Key.
Yeah, well, that other one I like too was the Missy Elliott one, and I was telling Erica, and I'm not gonna.
Don't. Yeah, let's keep that.
Let's keep that to get your freak on.
Yes, but there's a lot more to it. Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe it's that house part that he put in there. I don't know.
That's how it is. I'm telling you, baby. That's the great thing about house. That's the great thing about house. It's the best. That's why I DJ it, because, and I've been playing house since I was 16 years old.
Really?
Yeah, man. I go way back.
I would have thought you were more a hip hop head.
Nope. Here's when all my friends were doing, and I grew up at the beginning.
Right.
The very beginning.
The very beginning.
And when all my cats that were kind of my age were doing that, I was going to the clubs, to the underground clubs, and listening to house music and being in that community at 16. You know what I mean? So
and what was that famous club you were going in at 16?
The Paradise Garage, baby.
And
what? I'm sorry.
But
and
did
what?
you say Studio 54?
Get me in trouble or something? This is Ann. I told you the name. There's no Ann.
No, I just remember the story you were talking about, Studio 54.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got to go to 54, but see, the thing about 54, that was considered popular, even though they were playing club tunes and stuff like that. 54 was a place to be seen. You know, you're talking about just going for the music and the culture and the community of it. Paradise Garage was the place to be, because that was a membership only club. You can only get in if you had a membership. Studio 54 was the bouncers picked you. All right, you can come in.
I got you.
Not you.
Okay.
Get off the line. It was that kind of shit.
Studio 54 is more the who's who, but Paradise was like underground.
Yes, and that was more family. It was because you saw the same cats, the same girls every week. You know what I mean? Because again, it was a membership club. So you saw the same people. You developed a relationship just based on the music. That to me was so influential to me as I was coming up, to be in that atmosphere. I can really see, whereas if I really went hardcore hip hop when it was happening, I'd be a different person. House and that atmosphere really kind of molded me as a person, because again, I got into it very young. So it really influenced me on how I became an adult and how I did things.
So question again.
Yes.
It is I.
Yes. So question from the lady in the back. Yes.
There you go. Right there.
As far as the people that you train, when I'm talking New York now.
Okay.
What celebrities? Because there's theater, not only, and then there's also movies, all that. But I would think that the theater scene would have been maybe more that you dealt with, because there are so many shows and on and off Broadway.
Yeah. See, the thing about that's cool. But the thing about theater people, once they're in productions, they're not doing too much outside stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because the work is grueling enough. So when they do have downtime, they're not trying to be up in the gym and all that. What you would get are people who are preparing for roles or preparing to be in something. Those people will come to you, put in the work so they can go and do their projects. So we would see more of that kind of crowd, not so much people who are actually in. Countless people, countless. You know what I mean? And also, it really depended on what facility you worked in. If you worked in what was considered the hot gym, then that's where all those people would be.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
If you were working on working in the kind of the side clubs, you weren't going to see a lot of that. So I was fortunate enough to do both. I worked in what was considered the hot club, which was Equinox at the time. So got exposed to a lot of that. And that kind of helped me with my TV little gigs that I used to get for fitness and stuff like that, because I was working at a club that was hot for that. But then I worked in like the Y. I worked in underground clubs. See, now the thing too about underground clubs, celebrities rather go there because now they don't, they're not being seen, they're not being recognized, right? And it's a little bit more of a private situation. So I've worked in that kind of atmosphere as a trainer. So I was just fortunate enough to have a little bit of taste of like all of that stuff.
You don't want to name drop somebody? Just for the D&D folks.
Okay, just between the three of us. How about that?
Here's what I will say. The celebrities that I did come in contact with, they did have a name. But it was more of the low-key celebrities that I used to deal with.
Non-mainstream?
Some of them were mainstream, but they were doing projects and being in shows that probably just a certain sector of people were watching and would know. What I mean?
Makes sense.
Those were my favorite clients because they were a little bit more down to earth.
Right.
When you started dealing with the big name clients, they tried to keep that persona even when they were in the gym.
Too diva-esque.
Like, yes. And I'm like, I don't even like that. I'm not impressed.
I'm not going to kiss your ass to do 3 burpees. Get out of here.
Right, exactly. So, but I will say this. One of my favorite clients of all time that I trained was my girl from the TV show Alice.
Oh, Linda Lavin.
Sweet, real, down-to-earth lady. Love training her. You would not know she was a celebrity by how she carried herself. You know what I mean? She was just down to earth. And I was fortunate enough to train her. She was doing a cabaret type show at the Rainbow Room in New York City, which is on top of 30 Rockefeller Center. She was doing like a little one-woman cabaret thing. And she wanted to get some training so she can have a stamina. Because she wasn't a young woman at that point. So she wanted to like keep her stamina up and look decent. And so I was fortunate enough to train her. And when she opened up her first show opening night, she invited me to come. And she said, no, you got to be there. I got to have you there. I was like, oh my God. I was like, all right, I'll come. I get my little nice clothes on because she ain't never seen me like that. She always sees me in the gym doing gym stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, get my little clothes on. Had my little date. I said, hey, come on. I'm going to do a little something. Come with me. So I'm not sitting up there by myself. Looks kind of weird. I go. And she blows the roof off the place. She's doing all these like old cabaret songs and she blows the roof off, So she finishes her set and she does a little talking to the audience. And she's, I would not be here tonight if it wasn't for this guy. And I'm like, oh shit, is she getting ready to? And sure enough, she like, hey, to my trainer, please stand up. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh wow. No, right. Yeah, blew me away. Totally. But that's what I mean about her. She was just a real individual. And for me, from the few celebrities that I trained, she kind of was the best for me. You know what I mean? But all right, if you want me to name drop, I trained Madonna for a minute. All right, there you go. You're happy now? You're happy now? I dropped the name for a minute.
Not the virgin.
And it was before she was Madonna. Okay. She was Madonna, but she was Madonna in the club scene. See, people forget she was in the club scene and the club tunes before she went pop and mainstream. So I knew her from that. So that's why I was like, oh, all right, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know that jam, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So I trained her for a minute. So since you wanted me to drop a name, there you go.
You on mute, Kim.
Oh, sorry about that. I got beside myself.
You're on mute.
Yeah. You're on mute.
But when she first was coming out and her song, I think it was Shooting Star, Lucky Star, was popular. I remember we went to Leopold.
Oh, okay.
In Berkeley.
I've heard
they would not show her face. It just said Lucky Star on the album
because she had so much soul.
They didn't want people to know at the time that it was a white girl.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. She was known in the clubs for us people who ran in the clubs. We knew her tunes and we knew who she was. But yeah, it was a minute. Then she went mainstream. And that's when I really didn't have any use for her at that point. I was like, you was all about us. You know, we feel like you were making tunes that we were like rocking to. And then when she started going pop, I was like, whatever, Madonna, whatever. You know?
Yeah.
She did have a soulful voice though. And I also like Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
I still like Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
I used to train.
I'm exposing my MTV days.
I used to train one of her producers.
Really?
Producers. So I got to meet her that way, you know, just, you know, because I was training her producer. And yeah, she's cool too. She was cool. She didn't, she didn't weird me out or nothing.
It was funny. My friend Julio, who you met when he was out here from New York. One of the places he used to live was the same area. I don't even know what they call development, but it was the same one that Cyndi Lauper lived, because you had that man or that person at the booth. Then you had to go through there. Well, his parents lived there at the time.
Okay.
And so he was kind of taking me around the neighborhood, just showing me, oh, this is where so and so lived.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, I didn't see that person at all, but again, it just kind of showed me the area.
Wait a minute. So he lived in an apartment building and he had a doorman? Is that
no.
Oh, it was a complex.
It's like here we call it a development. Okay. I don't know what they call it in New York.
We call that the projects. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he lived in the projects.
It was so many years ago. I'm gonna just.
Yeah, well, we don't call it that, but yes,
it wasn't. Well,
it's from the projects.
It didn't look like it to me. Maybe that's where she lived after she made a couple of songs. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, because I lived in the projects, man. I know how that is, but I lived in what was considered a little bit more of an upscale project. But it was still the project.
There's an upscale project. There's levels of hoods.
Yes, in New York. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's not all one level of hood. No, there's levels to it.
Right, yes, right.
Absolutely. Like what level you live in? Oh no, I don't get down.
I lived in a slightly upscale level.
Okay.
Of it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it was a little bit more.
New York just calls everything different. Don't you call, like, we would call a single family home, but you guys call it a flat or something?
No. That's what they call it in England. We call it.
What do they call it in New York?
A studio apartment.
Okay. What about where Cosby lived on the Cosby Show?
Oh, that's
what
a brownstone.
Brownstone. There we go.
Oh, that's you got money. If you live in a brownstone, you got money.
Oh, okay. So brownstones mean
you got money.
They are nice. We know a couple of people that live in the brownstones out there.
Yeah.
And you walk through the front door, then you go downstairs into
the kitchen. Yeah, kitchen's downstairs normally. Yeah. I lived in a brownstone. It wasn't my brownstone. I had an apartment in a brownstone, and my apartment was the ground floor apartment. So it was cool because then I also had a garden in the backyard. So
it was really weird. Yeah. Then you have like a receiving area upstairs. Yes. I guess that's the parlor.
Yeah, we or living room. We called it just a living room.
Yeah, but then there's like
y'all different. Y'all different.
It was a bunch of different. Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
We just call that the living room.
Yeah, it's a living room, man.
The entryway.
Yeah, living room and the hallway. Like, we call that the hall. We didn't even call it the entryway. It's the hallway.
Well, I got a little bougie out of mood,
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to insult you.
Yeah, you ain't insulting me. I got a little bougie.
Yeah, I didn't want to seem too forward there.
What y'all arguing? We family over here. I'm a little bougie.
Because when you said a flat, I was like, oh, excuse me. I should have said that with your pinky out, I live in the flats.
Then there are those apartments that don't have elevators, right? So it's like
walk-ups. We call those walk-ups.
Those are
walk-ups.
Okay.
Those are called walk-ups.
It's like a whole nother language.
It's a language, everything.
Wow.
Yes. New York is deep. Deep.
I might have to engross myself in New York culture. We was talking about where I'm gonna go to New York and stay at 3 months.
Yeah,
to engross myself in the culture.
You got to really soak it in. You got to do 6. You got to really do
6 months.
Yeah, you got to do 6 because you have to be there through a season. You got to do winter, spring, summer, or you can do summer, winter, fall. You see what I'm saying? So
can we just do it without winter?
Right.
no, you have to experience that.
No, I ain't driving in the snow. I'm not.
See, that's what I mean. See, this is why I say you people are soft. Now you understand why I say it.
Look,
I'm a little Charmin. I'm a little Charmin.
Damn snow. No,
I'm a little Charmin.
I'm a little Charmin. Yeah.
I see, you're soft. See, y'all, you got to do a winter, because that's a whole experience too when it comes to New York. You got to be there for the Thanksgiving and Christmas season and New Year's. New York, you got to be there for those 3 things, and that's winter.
Yeah,
if you
my
really
daughter
want to
went
know
to
what
New
New
York.
York is, if you really want to know what New York is about, you got to do those 3 things in New York, and that's the winter.
My daughter went for New Year's 2 years ago. Yeah, and she loved
do
it. She
Times
said
Square?
It was cold. Yes,
But
she said that cold hit different.
Yes, just so you know, if you live in New York, you don't do
Times Square.
No.
Just like if you
That's
live in
how you
Vegas,
know.
you don't go on the strip.
Yeah, that's how you know people ain't from here.
Right.
Look at all the people. They ain't from
Look
here.
at Louisiana. They don't really do Mardi Gras. They do something else.
They don't do Bourbon Street.
They don't do Bourbon Street.
They don't go on Bourbon Street. Right.
Yep.
So if
that's
you're
that
from
tourist
New York,
trap.
And I try not to go to San Francisco when family come. Like,
right.
You want to go? Don't you want to go to San Jose?
No, I want to go to Alcatraz. I want to see a jail. What, man?
Yeah.
I want to go to Pier 39.
Get the fuck out of here. They're gonna go see some jail. What are you kidding me? Get out of here, man. That's crazy.
An abandoned jail at that I gotta pay for.
Right. Now, my brother, rest his soul, when he came to visit me, it was so cool because he said, "Yo, dude, the one place I want to go." And I was like, "Oh God, he's gonna say Alcatraz." And he was like, "Yo, I want to go on that street that curves around." I was like, "Now that I can get behind that because we don't have to get out of the car. We just drive. Look, man, you on that street,
right?
You don't get out the car."
I took him right over there. We drove over there. I was like, "Oh, this is cool, right?" Yeah. I was on my way.
I love that stuff.
Last time I had my cousin came to visit, and this was her first time in San Francisco area, so she wanted to go do. She was, I want to do boom, 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 and I'm thinking, fuck, I don't even do that. So
I don't even do that.
So, but you know what I ended up doing? It was me, Aaron, and my cousin. I went and got tickets for us to do the Gray Line tour.
Oh, that's smart.
So we hit everything. She wanted to. They pointed to Lombard Street. We went to Golden Gate. Everything.
Right.
And I was right after we picked her up from the airport. We went there. We did that. Went to my house. Perfect.
Yeah.
Wait, they just pointed at it.
Well, because it was in the you're in the Gray Line.
I need more than that.
No. You're in the Gray Line tour bus. It's not gonna. It can't go down Lombard Street.
Right.
So you can go to the bottom of the hill. Up,
there it is.
Cars coming down.
Oh, Lord.
We had gone to Haight Street. We had gone to we did everything, hit everything.
Now I don't get into none of what happens out here in the Bay Area, but I heard through the grapevine that they actually charge you now to go on Lombard Street.
I heard they were going to start doing that.
Yeah.
I didn't know when they actually started because people that live on that street, they can never get out of
they
their
can
house.
Never get out.
No, they're like, I can't even imagine that. I'll be like, yo, man, y'all gotta shut this down. If I'm gonna live here, y'all gotta shut this bullshit down, bro. Really?
Yeah. People were having a hard time getting out of their house.
I agree.
On the weekends, oh my God, it's a long line.
No, so I'm like, no thanks.
It's like I just need to go to the grocery store. Get the fuck out the way.
Yeah. So I bet you now that there's a toll, ain't as many people on that motherfucker. I bet you.
Right.
I won't be going. We're gonna be at the bottom of the hill, pointing up. That's what we're gonna be.
There it is.
Exactly. My brother came out here just in time because
if you ever have to do that, that's a perfect thing to do.
Yeah,
the Gray Line.
Somebody does all the talking because I don't know everything.
That makes total sense, bro. Yeah.
Work smart, not hard, man.
True.
Especially doing that. I ain't trying to. Come on. I ain't doing that.
We over it, so it's like okay,
exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Oh,
you want some seafood? Okay. Yeah.
Seafood. Of course you do.
Yeah.
It has to be over in the city.
Right.
Of course. Like
you want a burrito from the Mission? Of course you do. Of course you do.
Avocado toast.
Right.
Of course
you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and people want to. I'll be like, they want to ride the BART. I'm like, oh no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. I was like, no, you don't. You really
Man,
trust me.
I rode that thing for like over 10 years commuting into work. Oh God.
Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah.
It's
The
the
worst.
worst.
Oh,
No.
I can
we're not
imagine.
doing
I
that.
haven't been on it in so many years now, but just the
Right.
tetanus alone, that would be there.
The tetanus alone. The tetanus alone is it's
Yeah.
devastating. Yeah. So yeah.
They tried to clean it up, but yeah, it's still the same.
Nah, I tell people you do have to ride the subway though when you go to New
I
York.
did ride the
You gotta
subway.
do the subway. Yeah.
See,
And I'm not
no,
saying it because it's like so great. It's just a
no.
New York a culture.
Experience.
Experience.
I really
exactly.
enjoy having being able to go anywhere when the subway is every single friggin' place. And going there and doing that and then coming back home and getting on BART, it pisses you the fuck off.
24 hours a day. The train.
24 hours nonstop.
Trains are running.
And I
every
think
day.
it was like, what,
Every
$5 at that time. You had a card.
Round trip.
And you
250,
can-
yeah, 250
Yeah.
each way, round trip.
Whereas I have a friend that pays dang near $20 a day to go
That's
from
what
where we live out to the city.
Yeah, there's
Daily.
no how much does it cost to go to here and how much
No.
you pay your 250, get on the train, go wherever
And go wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
wherever you want to go. From
So if
one
I get
borough to
robbed,
the
do I
next.
think of that as just part of the experience?
Yeah, it's definitely part of the experience. Definitely. You kidding me? You gotta ride the train. You gotta ride the train.
I mean, you wherever you go, you got to just use common sense. So you know,
Yes.
we didn't have a problem when we rode the train. Actually,
Of course you don't.
used
No.
it all the
No.
time.
As long as you don't look like you should be on the train, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'm
Yeah,
statuesque. I think I'll be fine.
Don't be walking on with your New York baseball cap and your New York sweatshirt and your New York backpack. And it'd be
God.
be like, get her
That's
now.
Liberty lighter, and you're just like, I'm ready. Yeah, no, we didn't look anything like that when we were.
Okay, good.
going
Yeah.
on
As
it.
long as you
Right?
do that, you're fine.
Not at all.
Tiki Barber here. I remember those grueling practices, pushing through fatigue and striving for greatness. Well, that's the same dedication My Herba puts into their supplements. They understand the body's needs. My Herba takes a holistic approach to wellness. Whether it's their CMOS, immune defense, or even sleepy time, they have an option for you. Let My Herba make the best you with code BARBER10 for 10% off at thefitnesscollectif.com.